welcome to the Connected Caroline Show. Today's guest is somebody very special to me. I know I say that a lot, but this particular person is my blood sister, Beth Brissellian. Welcome to the show, Beth.
Thank you. Do you have non-blood sisters?
I do. I do. Some people that I've interviewed are like, sisters from another mother. But today I have my real sister here, and we're talking about her NGO, which is called HDIF, which stands for Homeland Development Initiative Foundation. And Beth is the founder and executive director of the U.S. division of HDIF, which is an Armenian-based organization. So Beth, why don't you tell the listeners and viewers all about HDIF and its mission?
So HDIF, the mission of HDIF in Armenia is basically a job creation program. And what we do is we take, we find women in villages and towns and regional areas of Armenia that are underprivileged and underserved. And we find women who either have handicraft talent already, handicraft skills already, or would like to develop handicraft skills to supplement their income, their family's income. And we work with women, so we train them, we work with them in business skills development, and we give them the tools that they need to be successful cottage industry entrepreneurs. Essentially, what HDIF-USA does is we are also piggybacking on the job creation piece. And we felt that bringing the products, the fair trade handicrafts from Armenia to the US was a great way to get the products out of Armenia and into people's hands in the United States, be they within the Armenian community or within the fair trade and retail communities here in the US.
So I love how entrepreneurship runs in our family. And how long have you been doing HDIF? And also what inspired you to get involved with the organization in the first place?
So I founded HDIF-USA 5 years ago. And what inspired me to get involved was I love the mission. The products are beautiful. I really felt that they would translate well in the global marketplace. On an international platform, and they do. And I bought tons of HDIF products and decided, hey, I should probably take this the next step further. And I have a lot of experience in nonprofit organizational management, nonprofit development, and I just felt like it was a great fit. It was something that I could do here in the United States, based here in California, while still keeping a strong tie to Armenia and to our homeland.
I love it. So who are give us examples of the types of women. It's women only, correct?
It's mostly women. We have a few men here and there doing different, making different products or assisting their wives in making products. Or in one case, in Dilijan, we have a couple and they work together in their nonprofit to produce the products that they make, but 95% are women.
And what are the types of women that get involved with this? Not skill-wise, but what are their socioeconomics? Obviously, their socioeconomics, they need to have a business of their own, but what are they women that are aged out of orphanages? Is there like a certain sort of persona of women that you are working with?
We work with different kinds of women. I mean, we work with women who are leaders in their communities, who run women's resource centers, and they're able to bring together a group of women to produce products. We work with women who are single mothers. We work with women who are domestic violence survivors. We work with women who have children with severe disabilities. So we work with a large variety of women, but their common factor is that they're living in pretty disadvantaged communities and they desperately need supplemental income to support their families. So the money that they make from making these handicrafts, most of the money they make goes towards their kids' education, be it, elementary school, high school. A lot of our producers have sent their children to college and university using this money. And so, we really see this as a way to, in a small way, develop growth in areas that don't necessarily get a lot of attention.
And since you've been with the organization, have you seen little villages that have like really obviously benefited from this? And like, give an example of the success stories that you've seen just being involved with the organization as long as you have.
There are so many success stories. It's hard to really, identify any, just one. One success story, for example, would be a disabled woman in a very remote part of Armenia, close to the Georgian border. She is disabled. She's confined to a wheelchair. Her name is Manushag, and she is an expert knitter. So we engaged her in HDIF and in our program, and helped her build up a small team of women in her area. And they work together, and they really seriously need the income to support their families. But for Manushag, there's such discrimination against people with disabilities in Armenia that this was an outlet for her that no one else would give her. This was a chance to build a business that no one else would give her. And also the women with children with disabilities. Their income is critical to being able to afford equipment and different things that they need in the home to support their child's development. And then again, like I said before, there are a lot of women that use their income to make sure that their kids can go to Yerevan, to the capital city, to study. And without that income, their children would not have any opportunity for higher education.
So good, Beth. I'm so proud of you. So what's your background? You said that you had you have experience in nonprofits. And so talk a little bit about your evolution to get to be working with HDIF.
Oh my gosh. Back when I was in grad school, I worked for a nonprofit, like political action organization, and I did public relations for them. And then I moved on to working with junior achievement, and I did public relations and board management and nonprofit management, and specifically grant writing. And I've always been engaged with nonprofits, be it with our kids' schools foundations, being actively involved with that as, say, the VP of marketing, or different church organizations. And I've always been integrated into the nonprofit sector. So with all of my experience, starting HDIF-USA was actually not easy, but not something where I had a huge learning curve. So it just made sense for me to go in that direction.
So the tag to my podcast is passion inspires purpose, and money or mission and money can coexist. So are you also making a decent living by being involved with this organization? I know that nonprofits and NGOs, typically it's not like you don't go into it for that, but is this also something where you feel like you're making the right kind of money for the effort that you're putting in? Because that's important to the listener to know that, you're super passionate about what you're doing. And are you also, able to, survive, add it to your other income to, supplement it?
So the simple answer to that is no. To be perfectly honest with you, starting a nonprofit is not for the faint of heart. And it's not for somebody looking for income on immediate income. Mm-hmm. So I put in some startup money to get the organization off its feet, and I'm still getting paid back that startup money. Starting, like I said, a nonprofit, the first 3 years is almost, zero movement. It really takes patience to build a nonprofit into something that is a moneymaker. And we don't have any grants or anything, which we probably could look for. But at this point, I kind of like having nothing hanging over me in terms of decision making. I have a fantastic board of directors that's based here in the U.S. And we all work together. And right now I'm working as a volunteer because I want to get paid back the money that I put into it. And then I probably will, from that point, will start taking something small, as a payment for my services, for my work. But, I say to people all the time, if you want to start an HDIF in France, or you want to start HDIF in Germany and follow the model that I've built for HDIF-USA, the first thing you need to realize is you need to put your own money into it.
So it's bootstrapped completely by you, which, like you said, there's no other entity that you need to answer to in terms of sales and all that kind of thing. Any startup that bootstraps, it could be 5 years before you actually see a profit, but you do it because you believe in it, and that's that passion part. Eventually it'll turn a profit, and not that that's the only, that's the most important thing, but it is part of having a business, is to have a little, earn income. And obviously in a nonprofit NGO situation, it's not as you went into it with your eyes open, and that actually leads me to my next question. Did you approach them about starting HDIF-USA, or did they come to you and say, hey, we want to expand into the United States? Are there any HDIFs around the country, around the world, other ones?
So I contacted Tim Strait, who's the founder of HDIF in Armenia. He's actually, his specialty is refugee relief. And he came to Armenia trying to find housing for refugees in the early 2000s, and he actually stayed. So I contacted Tim about 6 years ago, and I said, I love what you guys do. I'm looking for something that I can really sink my teeth into. Do you think there's a place for me in your organization? And he came back and said, we're looking for an official distributor in the United States, and possibly someone who could set up a 501c3 in the US so that we can get donations that to the donor would be tax deductible. And I said, I can totally do that. I know that I can do that. So that's kind of how we started. And again, we started this 501c3. We're getting tax deductible donations. We have a charitable arm to our organization. So once a year, we do a charitable fundraising drive. But yeah, I mean, they came, I went to them and they replied. Now, in terms of what's going on around the world, we do have other distributors just recently who've come on board. One is in England, one is in Germany, one's in Montreal, and one is in Australia.
And you have just the United States, not North America? So you don't do Canada as well?
No, because we've got the Montreal gal.
Oh yeah, you just said Montreal.
We were on an incredibly strong upward trajectory just prior to COVID. We were doing amazingly well. Our brand name recognition was very high. We were really on, a positive upswing in terms of just, kind of getting over that 3-year hump and taking off. And COVID just, like everything else for everyone else, cut us off at the knees. And we really, I kind of feel like we've had to start all over again in some case, in some respects. We did quite well with COVID sales because of a few different factors. I actually did a virtual festival from our dining room where I laid out like all of the products, and Tim and I kind of went around the table and went around the dining room table, and we, talked about all the different products and did this virtual festival. And that created a great deal of a viewership and new clients based on people seeing our virtual festival. Because at that time, there was nothing happening. Now I'm back, just getting back to festivals where I'm going and having a booth and exhibiting my products. But it's really a shame because all that work this first 3 years has kind of been, it's kind of on set aside. We sort of have to start over again.
COVID really made people get creative, right? And that was actually a positive thing as a result of COVID, is people had to pivot and get creative and like do something completely new. Are you against doing both virtual festivals for those people that just can't get to, I know you're doing, well, if you're going to, are you going to consumer events, or are you going to business events, or both?
Consumer.
Okay, so why wouldn't you do both and have the festival, the virtual festival for the people that can't get to wherever you are live?
Well, that's what I am planning on doing is, once we've got, these booths set up and at these different venues, it's just doing a video recording or Facebook Live or whatever, and, highlighting some of the products that we have and then posting it and, getting some more, some more hits off of the video.
And sales.
And hits and sales, exactly.
Yeah. I have one more question about the operations in Armenia. Like the lady you described that lives at the Georgian border. Is there a large number of people on the ground in Armenia that are combing these villages to find people? And then you said that with your support, they recruited other people, that she recruited other people in the village. How many people does that take to do all of that?
I mean, it's basically, HDIF in Armenia is kind of famous.
Okay.
And so, people who are in the handicrafts, they know about HDIF, and we have more people coming to us, wanting to engage with us than we can accommodate. But there's also, some rules that we have in place. You have to be registered with the government as a legal entity in order to work with us. The reason for that is that we are a World Fair Trade certified organization, and there's no under the table, business transactions taking place. And some people don't want to register with the government. They want to continue their kind of under the table work. And so that excludes them automatically. The people who want to work with us have to follow and abide by what is laid out in the 10 principles of fair trade with the World Fair Trade Organization. So that's a really important piece. So people come to us. In the beginning, Tim in his refugee work would meet people all over the country, in a variety of different locations. And so he would bring people into the organization and do more training than we do now. At this point, sometimes we find the new people, sometimes people recommend we meet these new people, and sometimes they come to us.
Got it. Fantastic. So for the viewers and listeners, what's the best thing they can do to help support HDIF?
The best thing to do is to help us fulfill our mission, which is job creation, for underserved, underprivileged women who have seen their fair share of hardship in their lives. And they're really trying to give their kids a better life than they had. So the best thing to do is to buy our products online. The website is www.HDIF-USA-shop.com. Again, that's HDIF-USA-shop.com. And buy our products and share our mission with other people. And if you love our products, tell your friends about it and spread the word. That would be awesome.
So during COVID, you had that one Christmas ornament with the COVID mask.
Yeah.
Sold out. And I love that.
Oh my God. So COVID Santa, it was COVID Santa ornament. And it was my idea. And I had them special make it for me in Armenia. And it was made in Berat, which is actually very, very close to the Azerbaijani border, which is a very volatile area right now, very dangerous, actually. They made the COVID Santas there, and I had to have those remade multiple times. And then lo and behold, COVID was around the following year. So I reordered them again and sold them again. I mean, I thought it was just going to be this like very 1 year seasonal item. And unfortunately, it turned out to be a 2 year seasonal item. And it was very, very well received.
So you're going to have monkeypox Santa this
No.
year? Every year
gross.
you're going to have like a different weird
Santa. Yeah, a different pandemic Santa.
Exactly. I love it. So wrapping up, is there anything else that you would like to share about HDIF, or have we covered all the bases?
I mean, I think we've covered all the bases. You know, it's a labor of love, as all nonprofits. But, you know, we know that we have an important purpose to fulfill, an important mission to fulfill. And everyone, I mean, what's great about HDIF and HDIF-USA and being involved in this kind of sector is that it's a happy thing. You know, I mean, it's a happy thing. People love to shop and, you know, buy products that are going to help other people. Our products are beautiful and useful, and you know, there's always something to be upbeat and happy about in this sector.
I love it. Absolutely. And, you know, I'm so damn proud of you.
Thank you.
It's really awesome.
Right back at you, sis.
Oh, thanks.
For exactly this reason, for this great program that you've got going. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you. You know what's so funny is that Beth's probably never seen my podcast, and and I had like, it took this interview for me to get the full download on what you do.
Because we have so many other problems to solve.
We have so many balls in the air, family balls in the air.
Family balls in the air.
Oh
yeah.
My God. So everybody, thank you for welcoming my sister, Beth Broselian, to the show. And Beth, thanks a lot. And maybe I'll see you very, very soon, hopefully.
Great.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
So thank you. And that's a wrap. And this is Caroline with the Connected Caroline Show. Make it a giving day.